Grønland vil ikke ejes af USA. Grønland vil ikke styres af USA. Grønland vil ikke være en del af USA.
We are going to do something on Greenland, whether they like it or not. If we don't do it the easy way, we're going to do it the hard way.
Donald Trump talks about Greenland increasingly as though it's a real estate deal and he's still in the New York property market. His idea seems to be that Russia and China are muscling into the Arctic as the sea ice is receding, and that they will take this gigantic island unless they're shut out, and he doesn't trust Denmark to do it. That at least is the rationale that he puts forward in public. There are other things to think about. For example, the wealth of minerals that are found on Greenland, or just the idea that this might be about status and the acquisition of territory to make Trump seem more important.
If we don't take Greenland, Russia or China will, and I'm not letting that happen.
The option that the White House has very emphatically left on the table is just an invasion. This has been wargamed by military experts, and pretty much every single time, the Americans completely overwhelm Greenland. The exact mechanics vary from one operation to another, but there'll be some combination of special forces and air power and amphibious landings. And the Americans already have troops at the Pacific Space Base, so it is an operation they'll be very well placed to conduct.
The president has been very open and clear with all of you and with the world that he views it in the best interest of the United States to deter Russian and Chinese aggression in the Arctic region. And so that's why his team is currently talking about what a potential purchase would look like. All options are always on the table for President Trump.
There are two variants of buying Greenland. The first is like a really old school purchase, like the US did with the Alaska purchase in 1867 or the Louisiana purchase before that. And indeed, it actually bought some islands in the Caribbean off Denmark in 1917. But it's not actually clear that it is possible under the Danish constitution or under international law for Denmark to sell what is already largely an autonomous territory within its kingdom. Another variation on purchasing is for the US to basically bribe the Greenlanders to hold a vote for independence and then kind of annex themselves to the US. It seems more likely actually that the Americans will use a combination of carrots and sticks. The carrots being saying to the Greenlanders, you know, look, we can give you a pretty sweet deal here if you enter some kind of association agreement with us and leave Denmark. The sticks being everything from threatening to attack down through sending in kind of agents to conduct covert action in the Greenlandic population and stir up sentiment against Denmark. Online misinformation, troll farms. I mean, basically, this is the playbook that we're already familiar with from how Russia intimidates neighboring countries.
Det har ikke været nemt at stå op imod et helt uacceptabelt pres fra vores nærmeste allierede igennem en menneskealder, men meget tyder samtidig på, at det sværeste nu ligger foran os.
The Europeans have mostly been extremely cautious. Denmark has been very clear that it's not selling Greenland. And that any American acquisition of the territory is completely out of the question. But beyond that red line, it's willing to negotiate with Trump about anything he wants.
We had what I will describe as a frank but also constructive discussion. The discussions focused on how to ensure the long-term security in Greenland. And here our perspectives continue to differ, I must say. And we therefore still have a fundamental disagreement, but we also agree to disagree. And therefore we will, however, continue to talk.
The other European leaders have been increasingly vociferous in expressing solidarity with Denmark, but very reluctant to criticize Trump directly, and they have also felt a need to pay lip service to his idea that Greenland is somehow threatened by Russia and China. And as a result, this week, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Germany, the UK, France, and possibly some more allies, we're waiting to find out, are sending small numbers of lightly armed troops to Denmark on a kind of reconnaissance mission. And this will be part of wider exercises that will take in warships and Danish fighter jets over the coming weeks and months.